Hello, good morning everyone. Yes, hello everyone. Good morning. Yes, Ashwini, good morning. Yes, Monday morning. I know it's very difficult for you to get up early, but still, you have to wake up for your future. Yes, am I audible to all of you? Yes, am I audible? Yes, Preeti, good morning. Sankalpa, good morning. Very good morning. Now audible, clear, and visible as well. Yes, yes, Pooja, good morning. Okay, okay, good. Yes, it is all because of you. You have requested and I sorted out the problem. Yes. So here is my introduction. As most of you know me very well, Harshvardhan Singh. I'm in this field since last 8 years, and I'm taking the lecture of history, economics, and international relation along with history optional on the platform of Unacademy. Earlier, I was selected as an intelligence bureau officer, and I did my graduation as an engineer, then masters in economics. Clear? Yes, an academy is having around 15,000 courses. So I request you to take a subscription of an academy for more benefits. If you compare in the price wise, it is one of the most cheapest platform for getting best education in the field of civil services. There are two subscription, plus subscription and iconic. It depends on you, but I suggest you to take iconic subscription and at least for a year so that you will get the whole benefit of it. Yes, Abhishek, good morning, good morning, good morning. Then Pooja, what you are asking? कौन सी book पढ़ा रहे हैं? Book का नाम क्या है? It is not just a book, it is a subject. I'm going to teach world history. Means basically we are learning world history. Yes, so and it is for mains point of view. I'm taking the subject world history GS first paper for mains. A quick recap of last lecture. So I hope, yes, Shiva, good morning. I hope all of you here. So shall we start? Yes. So quick recap of last lecture. Okay. So last since 1789 we were discussing about French Revolution. And as I talked you that French Revolution was in phases. The first phase we mentioned about 1789 1789 to 1791. This is the phase of Constituent Assembly. We already mentioned what happened and all. Then we mentioned about 1791 to 1792. This is the phase of Legislative Assembly. We discussed what happened and all. Then we discussed about 1792 to 1795. This was the phase of National Convention. Clear? And then we discussed that 1795 to 1799 it was a phase of directory system. Yes. So we discussed these all phases earlier. Clear? So regarding the last lecture, when we discuss when we discussed the directory system. Why it was so? Why people want the directory system? Because excesses of revolution was important. Excesses. And the best example of excesses of revolution is reign of terror. Clear? So people fed up with the idea of revolution. They want peace, they want prosperity, and they thought that instead of many people, it's better to have few handful intellectual people who can run the country. But as I mentioned in the last lecture only, that suppose if all the people become become corrupt or inefficient, or they are having prejudice with some section of society, either basis on class, either basis on caste, either basis on gender, do you really think so they are going to work for the betterment of the people as a whole? Of course not. And it happened there in the director system, because there were 5 directors and these directors proved to be corrupt, inefficient, and because of that reason there was a discontent among people, and now they are fed up with, not with just a revolution, they are fed up with the experiments. They are fed up with the experiment and what they want. Always remember, common people always want peace and prosperity. That's it. Yes, that's it. They just want peace and prosperity. It doesn't matter which political party is providing them. It doesn't matter whether it is male or female. They just want peace and prosperity. For some time, they might get influenced by one person, but it doesn't mean they are always with that person. So that's why we considered it as a people, janta. Clear? So what they want? Peace and prosperity. Clear? So as I mentioned, they are having discontent, they are fed up. That means in short, they are frustrated. And always remember it, this is a very common thing for human being. When they are frustrated, they can do mistake. Means definitely they are going to do the mistake. Let's take your example only. Whenever in your life you are frustrated, you are going to take a wrong decision, and because of that you have to pay the price of it. It happened with the France as well. They were frustrated. What they want? Peace and prosperity. And to get the peace and prosperity, they found out the Napoleon as a solution. In the last lecture only, as I mentioned, how Napoleon came directly into picture. As I mentioned, he was a member of Republican Army. He was a member of Republican Army. He was an able general. He was an able general, and he proves his mettle in the battlefield. His adventures were so famous that he was a household name in the Paris at that time. So they thought that okay, this is the person who is having ability, who works for the common people. Means they hope that Napoleon is going to work for the common people, so that Napoleon took the opportunity of it. Napoleon entered into Paris. He abolished the word, remember, he abolished the directory system and established the consulate system. This is the first attack on the idea of revolution. How? Because every time we mention when Constituent Assembly replaced by Legislative Assembly, Legislative by National Convention and all, one principle is always there, and that is of election. Yes, Bhanupriya, good morning. Vijay, good morning. Yes, everywhere election was there. What he did, he just used his fiat. He just abolished and established a new system. Do you really think so? People have any role to play in this system? People participation were there? No, the earlier people participation were there. Now there is no participation. It's just a will of that person. So Napoleon attacked revolution in this manner. Okay. So what is the consulate system? Consulate system was basically having three members. Napoleon was very smart. He doesn't want to get the attention of everyone at the first go. In the consulate system, Napoleon was the first consulate and having most of the power with him. These two are just for namesake. Why it is so? Because he doesn't want to show that he is there to grab the power. He was a wise person. He was a wise person. He knew that he uh, don't want to make people angry, because people were fed up of monarchy. People were fed up of electoral system. Now they want peace, prosperity. And if this person is supposed to assume the power and he wants to become a dictator, it is not acceptable by the people. So what he did to pacify the masses, he established the consulate system. Three members were there, and Napoleon was the first consulate among them, and most of the power with him. Clear? So once he assumed the power as the first consulate, he started introducing Napoleonic reforms. And Napoleonic reforms are very famous. As I mentioned, Napoleon was very famous for two things. One, for his military campaign, and another for his administration. Yes, Napoleon very famous for military general, as well as he was able administration, and most of the Napoleonic reforms are still following today, not just in France but all over the world. So what type of reforms he introduced? So there are two types of reforms he introduced: internal reforms and external reforms. Internal reforms, which is introduced within France, and external reform represent the Napoleonic Empire. Clear? So till this we already discussed in the last lecture, and now today we are going to discuss the next part of it, that is Napoleonic reforms. Pooja, please explain the director system and consulate system. For that you can watch the video, the previous video. You will get to know the exact thing, because if I'm going to explain right now, it takes much time. Yes, in the last lecture I already discussed it. This is just a quick recap of last lecture. Okay, so now in this lecture we are going to discuss the internal reforms. So what type of internal reforms he introduced? Clear? But before that, I just want to ask you one question, and I am expecting the answer from you. As in the last lecture only, I mentioned when Napoleon entered into France, Napoleon entered into Paris, he was welcomed by all. He was welcomed by all the sections of society. Yes, he was welcomed by the all section of the society, and because of that reason, he assumed the power without any resistance. Without any resistance. So, my question to you: how it is possible that every section of the society supported Napoleon? Because as in the previous lecture we mentioned that French Revolution was going on, and at that time we mentioned that some people supported it, but some opposed it as well. Yes, during the time of Reign of Terror, we mentioned this point that French Revolution was going on. Some people supported, some people opposed it. So my question to you: why the all the section of the societies supported the Napoleon? And because of their support only, it was very easy for Napoleon to grab the power without any resistance. Yes, my basic question to you, how it is possible that Napoleon grabbed the power easily without any resistance? How it is possible that all the people are supporting Napoleon at the same time? Means if we considered in previous manner, it was like that first estate, second estate and third estate, they all supported Napoleon. In the previous manner, that is first estate, second estate and third estate, all supported Napoleon. Yes, Pooja asked me what is the difference between internal reforms and external. Internal reforms are the reforms introduced by Napoleon within France. And external reforms is basically reforms introduced outside France. And this represents as a Napoleonic Empire. Clear? Yes, everyone, please let me know. Yes, come on, hurry up. What do you think? Why everybody supported Napoleon? Does it happen in a normal sense? Yes, if the situation is normal, do you really think so that all the people are supporting one person? Yes, Ashwini. Ashwini said that as there was the end of monarchy, so no one was having privileges. And then Napoleon came as a ray of hope for all of them, so they supported him. Okay. And yes, one more thing I mentioned lots of time and I'm mentioning in this lecture as well. Please feel free to answer. Do not take any tension that whether your answer is right or wrong. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is your answer. I'm there to tell you the exact answer. Clear? Pooja said French and Napoleon want independence from the monarchy. Okay, so that's why they supported. Okay. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, yes, yes. Come on, come on. Preeti, he represent himself as an ally of common man. Okay. Yes, anyone? Please. Hmm? Yes, what about others? What about others? There are few people in civil services examination preparation or while attending the classes. They are like this attitude. I don't want to show my knowledge to anybody. Who is he? Why should I show my knowledge? If I am showing my knowledge, that means this person is going to utilize my knowledge. So for them, it's my request. It is not at all the case. Yes, it is not at all the case. So if you can share your knowledge, then we are here to ratify your mistake. so that you are not going to repeat the same mistake in the examination. So please dilute your attitude and express yourself. Clear? Yes, feel free. And most of you are having one more problem, that is inferiority complex. Since your school days, this was a habit developed, and our education system is also responsible for it. That is, whenever you are going to say wrong, everybody is going to laugh. So this is not at all the case. This is your point of view. It may be right, it may be wrong. We are not here to judge you. We just want answer. What do you think? Because in normal sense, if you are a normal human being, you will get to know that in normal sense, it's not possible that every section of the society is supporting a one person. No, no clue. Yes, no clue at all. I'm surprised. How you will look like when you will become bureaucrat? A DM is there, SP is there, without any clue. People are hoping that this person, madam or sir, is going to provide solution, and you are like, हमको कुछ नहीं पता. Yes, Sankalpa. What Sankalpa said? French people were tired of insecurity and disorder, and they felt Napoleon, being a soldier, can free them from all the sufferings. Okay. Yes. Let me explain what happened exactly. As we mentioned lots of times, and this is very popular diagram of mine in French Revolution. Some of you might get bored of it, but it's okay. As we mentioned, first, second, and third state, we mentioned most of the population, means around 90% population. 90% population of the country belongs to third state. Belongs to third state. Yes, Pooja, what? It's okay. It's okay, Pooja. As Pooja said that she is having problem in world history, it is not at all the problem. Just focus here. And for you, just watch my 3-4 videos are there. We just started the session. So you can watch and you will get the idea. If you are having any problem, any doubt, you can ask me. I will connect with you, all of you, with the Telegram channel. Don't worry, it's a very common subject. And remember, as in history, dates and places changes, events remains the same. Okay, so please focus here. Do not take tension, because tension is not going to gives you results. It gives you valuable. So right now we are focusing here the third state. The 90% of the population of France belongs to third state. Don't you think so that Napoleon was among the third state? Do you really think so? Napoleon as a born as a noble, whether he is from nobility? No, he was not from nobility. He was a common man of France. Clear? So people thought that Napoleon belongs to third estate. So he knows the misery plight of third estate, and he is from among ourselves. So he is going to provide us some relief. Clear? Most of the popular leaders in the world are from a poor background. So people thought that this person is going to change our life because he know what exactly our situation, what exploitation means, what discrimination means. So don't you think so? It's a common sense that people belongs to third estate blindly supported Napoleon. Don't you think so? Because they thought that this person belongs to us. So he's going to provide solution. So it is the case that third estate supported Napoleon because he was one among them. What about first estate? What about first estate? As you know that the French Revolution, National Legislative Assembly, National Convention ended the authority of church. Ended the authority of church. Ended the authority of churches. They confiscated their land. First estate land was confiscated by the democracy. So they don't want to repeat the same thing. And Napoleon, since beginning, Napoleon didn't have any such intention. Napoleon was not angry over first and second estate. Clear? So that's why he doesn't have any what we can say enmity with the churches. So that's why church feel that okay, this person is not going to snatch whatever the property remains with us. So they thought that okay, this person will be a better option than any other because they saw the horrifying nature of democratic system. With one decree, they just ended everything. So they thought that okay, Napoleon is not that mad as compared to others. So they supported Napoleon. So this is the case with the first and third estate. What about second estate? As we mentioned, second estate belongs to nobility, feudal lords. Yes. So why they supported? Because of excesses of revolution. And the best example of excesses of revolution is reign of terror. In the reign of terror, what happened? Just execute a person. Execution is a very common phenomenon. Just kill that person on the basis of suspicion. On the basis of suspicion, they supported Napoleon because they fed up with the excesses of revolution and they knew that this person is not that much mad. He is not going to repeat the reign of terror. Clear? So because of the fear of the revolution, they supported Napoleon. Clear? So basically all the states were having different version to support Napoleon. Means their vested interest was there. So because of that vested interest, they supported Napoleon. Clear? First estate, because they knew that Napoleon is not having any enmity with the churches, so he is not going to end our authority. And yes, later on you will get to know that he showed the cordial approach, or we can say he shows some good gestures towards churches. So that's why that enmity was over. Second estate, because of fear of excess of revolution, they supported because everybody loves their life. Nobody wants to die without reason. So second estate supported them, and third estate thought that this person belongs to us. This person will work for them. And when there is hope, there is also the word hopelessness. Let's see whether this person is going to fulfill the aspiration of masses or whether he is going to fulfill his own dream. Clear? So now we are going to discuss the internal reforms. So in internal reforms, he rejected the liberty. He rejected the liberty and supported the equality and fraternity. As you know, the French Revolution, the most important gift given by French Revolution to the world, that is liberty, equality and fraternity. Yes, liberty, equality and fraternity. So I'm asking you the very basic question. I'm asking you a very, very basic question, that is, if liberty is given to you, if liberty is given to you and equality is not there, this is the case first. And if liberty is rejected and equality is given to you, and I give you a choice, that is, you have to select either one, means you have to choose only one of it. So tell me which one is the best for you. Just leave about, just do not think about the French Revolution. Think about yourself, as these are the universal concepts, and these concepts are applicable everywhere in the world. And we, in our Indian Constitution, we adopted liberty, equality, fraternity. So my question to you, just think about yourself. If your government provide liberty and rejected equality, what will be the case? And if liberty is there and equality is not there, what will be the case, and which one is better for you? Yes, Samir, good morning. Yes, come on. Think about it. Because whenever you're going to think about it, you will get to know exactly what was the case. Or have you first time heard the word liberty in your life, equality in your life? If it is the case, then it's okay. I'm not asking you. But if you heard it lots of time, then it's for you. I'm asking this question to you. Sankalpa directly rejected none of them. She doesn't want. Okay. Samir said without liberty, equality doesn't matter. Pooja said she is going to opt for equality. Sankalpa said both are independent. Samir said both are important at the same time. Don't you think so? You're going to judge yourself. I said that you have to pick either one. Just think about it. You have to pick either one of it, either this or this. I didn't ask you to choose both at the same time. Because, yes, Ashwini said liberty and equality goes hand in hand. Oh my god, like couple. Next, Preeti said both liberty and equality are necessary, neither can be seen separately. See how much you are deeply interested in the democracy. Means I'm really happy that you all are a responsible citizen of our country. Pooja, equality provided the independence, for we cannot feel bad. Okay, let's see what's your opinion and whether it is going to match with it or not. Means this is the case 1. Liberty is rejected, equality is there. So what is the situation? Hari Govind said equality is preferable. Okay, let me explain with help of an example, and after that you are going to tell me which one is better or not. Clear? So let's take an example and listen it carefully. Let's take an example. When equality is there and liberty is not there. Suppose, and I'm giving you the example on the basis of an examination for which you are preparing, civil services. Suppose I'm the person. Where is me? Okay, here. Here's me. You can compare. Yes, exactly. It looks like me. So in this case, I'm the person, and suppose I'm a chairman of the exam for which you're preparing. Okay. And I'm the person who is having prejudice regarding gender. And as I said, these all are suppose, so don't get mad. These all are assumption. If I am a chairman, I feel good. Having prejudice regarding gender, especially women. Clear? So this is not true, but it's assumption. But as I'm working under the ambit of constitution, and this constitution, it is also supposed this constitution provided the equality. So I have to bound with this. But at the same time, this constitution is opposing the idea of liberty, means there is no word liberty into their dictionary. That means they have to change their dictionary. But it is a supposed situation, so that's why we considered liberty was not there, equality in that constitution. So he has to bound, means this person, me, has to bound with that. So as equality is there, then I'm going to provide equal opportunity for boys and girls. Equal opportunity for boys and girls. But at the same time, what I mentioned, I'm having prejudice regarding women. I considered them as a weaker gender, and these all are supposed things. Clear? So if a person is having prejudice that girls cannot do proper job, I provided them the opportunity. But as I'm having prejudice, that means don't you think so, I'm going to reject them while they're appearing for mains examination, while they're appearing for prelims, while they're appearing for interview. I can reject on the basis of any reason. Means if they score good marks, but still I said that no, they are not going to score good marks and all. So I rejected them. So don't you think so, I provide the opportunity then on the basis of principle of equality. Yes, on the basis of principle of equality, I provided them equal opportunity. But as a prejudice, I don't want to select girls. So that's why I rejected them completely. Clear? Then what the girls are going to do? They can express their anger, discontent. It's a logical thing, but you cannot. Why? Because no liberty. Because you don't have liberty. You don't have freedom. And freedom in all the context. You cannot. So do you really think so? Do you really think so that equality is important without liberty? Yes, this question to all of you. Do you really think so? Equality is important without liberty? Yes, those who answer me, please let me know. Ashwini said no, sir. It's meaningless. Then next. Yes, Sankalpa said no. Okay, it's chilling winter, so that's why I required a tea. Yes, Hargovind saying no, sir. Okay, so now you got it. That's what I want to tell you. Now you got it. Clear? So when liberty is not there and equality is there, this concept is meaningless. Okay. Everyone agree with that, or anyone is having any question related to this? Naneshwar, yes, he also agree with me. Pooja said that example is not showing the equality. As I showed equality in that example, that is boy and girl can appear for the examination. I provided them equal opportunity. I provided them equal opportunity. Yes, equality is there. Clear? I am the person who is having prejudice. Still, I provided them an opportunity. That is the equality. Clear? Let me tell you the same example in the case 2. Case second. In that, liberty is there and equality is not there. Yes, here I am the same person. I am the same person, same examination, same prejudices. Clear? As boys and girls, when there is no equality, do you really think so I'm going to allow girls to appear for the examination? Do you really think so? If equality is not there, I'm not going to equate the girl with boy. I said that girls are a weaker section of the society, so they don't have right. End. So who is going to be selected as IAS? Boys only. Now liberty is there. What women or girls can do? Protest. Protest is an option. What's the result of it? Whether you will get the post, whether you will get the opportunity. No, of course not. You are not getting any opportunity. Then what's the use of that? What's the use of it? If you protest, you take everything, but whether you are going to get post, no. Then, so in the both the cases, if you really observe it carefully, you will get to know that both the concepts are important at the same time. Without liberty, equality is meaningless. At the same time, without equality, liberty is meaningless. Clear? So now you get it exactly what I want to say, that liberty, equality and fraternity are important concepts, as Ashwini said earlier. Yes, go hand in hand. The other also said that without one, other is meaningless. It is the same thing. For you, for your reference, in Indian context, when Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar in his last Constitutional Assembly speech, he emphasized on the same thing, that he said that liberty, equality, fraternity are not a different concept. They are related with each other. If you are denying one and supporting other, the whole concept is a meaningless. Though the words may be the different, but idea is same. So liberty, equality, fraternity, we have to take in one go. It should not be in a phase manner that first we are going to provide liberty, then we are going to provide equality and all. It is not going to happen. Clear? And we had a experience of French Revolution, their experiments, and this experiment of Napoleon proved that liberty, equality, fraternity are the same concept. They are providing complementary and supplementary role with each other. Clear, everyone? Good. Now what happened? What happened here? Now we are coming back to our point, and that is related to French Revolution. When Napoleon reforms introduced, so he rejected the liberty and he adopted equality and fraternity. And at the same time, he convinced the masses. Napoleon convinced the Frenchmen. Why you required liberty? Just imagine the situation of pre-1789. In the pre-1789, there was no liberty, there was no equality, there was no fraternity. But you were happy, he said. He said that then what I am going to do, just after 10 years, I am going to provide you equality, means all Frenchmen are equal. All Frenchmen are brothers and sisters. Why you want liberty? Why you want liberty? Liberty always creates anarchy. It's his point of view. Liberty creates anarchy. Too much liberty is basically exploitation of the liberty. So that's why he said that there should not be need of liberty. You are happy with that. You are happy with equality. All are equal. Earlier there was a discrimination on the basis of birth, privileged, unprivileged. These groups were there. Now he said that there is no thing. Why you want liberty? People convince because they don't know what exactly it is. They don't know what the meaning of liberty. I'm not saying literally meaning. They know what liberty means. They never experienced that much liberty in their life. So they didn't realize, okay, what they lost at that time. Clear? So he convinced the masses. Earlier you don't have anything. I'm going to provide you 2 out of 3. And people said, it's okay. It's okay. Clear? So this is the first time. So what is the benefit for Napoleon? What's the benefit for the Napoleon when he rejected the idea of liberty? What's the benefit? The most important benefit, that no protest, no public protest, no freedom of expression, no demonstration. Yes, exactly. No one can oppose. Don't you think so? No one could question his authority. Exactly. No one can question. No one can oppose. Don't you think so? These all makes him most powerful, unquestionable authority. How it is so? No violence. No violence. It is not at all the case. Liberty doesn't mean it's a freedom given to you to do violence. No, that is a madness. Liberty is all about this demonstration, protest, questioning, freedom of speech. As if nothing is there, don't you think so? That person become most powerful and unquestionable authority. Yes, and if the person is an unquestionable authority, don't you think so? That person is going to become autocratic, or in other words, we can mention dictator. Dictator dictates the term. He just dictates one-side communication. So that's why I always say to you, it should be interactive. It should be two-way communication. If I'm going to communicate you from one side, it is like dictator, and I don't want. I don't like it. Clear? And you are a responsible citizen, so you should respond to avoid dictatorship. Yes, Ashwini, free to do anything and then can be tyrant ruler. Yes. So, in the previous lectures, when we discussed about the French monarchy, at that time we mentioned about divine origin of kingship, and this divine origin of kingship is having this point: unquestionable authority. No can ask the question, and if nobody is going to ask the question, then that rule become autocratic, that rule become dictator. Clear? So this is the benefit for Napoleon. No opposition. No opposition from inside. And suppose, as we mentioned earlier, that all the sections of the society supported Napoleon when he assumed the power. Don't you think so? There are some intelligentsia as well present in the society, and they can think that means after taking such a mad decisions, don't you think so? They are going to oppose. Yes, definitely they are going to oppose, but Napoleon was smart. He ended that opportunity. He ended the liberty, so there was no opposition from anybody. And if anybody tries to oppose Napoleon, then result will be death. Am I right or wrong? Yes. So he was too smart. And as I mentioned many times that Napoleon was an enlightened person. And the most important feature of enlightened person is that person knows strength and weaknesses at the same time. Why we are not considered ourselves as enlightened? Because we know our strength to some extent, but we don't know our limitations. That is our problem. Those who are considered as enlightened person, this is the thing, that they know their strength as well as weaknesses. Clear? And he know that what he is going to do. Step by step, Napoleon started grabbing the power. So these 2 points are clear to everyone? Yes, everyone, these 2 points are clear or not? Yes, everyone? Come on. Yes, clear? Okay, it's clear to all of you. Very good. Now, next thing. Next reform, that is financial reorganization. As you know that in 1789, when the French Revolution started, the most important or immediate factor responsible for revolution, and that is financial crisis. France was in deep financial crisis. That's the reason. And since 1789 to 1799, no concrete steps taken to improve the financial condition. That's the reason the revolution started, and it is a immediate cause of revolution, that is financial crisis was there, and the revolution was a continuous process. During that time, they don't get a time to consolidate the financial position, but Napoleon started this thing. He focuses on finances because I mentioned lots of time, if you want to run the country, you required strong financial source. And his ambition was very big. He just want to be next to Alexander. So his idea was clear. He want to rule the world, and if you want to rule the world, then you need strong financial support. Clear? It should be like that. In common sense, if you want to become IAS, then you have to study lot. Without study, you are not going to be IAS. Now you get it, I think so. Financial reorganization. So how he started, what he did for financial reorganization, he did the two things. First, that is no new taxes. No new taxes introduced, but collected old. No new taxes, but collected the old very well. As you know that taxes creates a huge chaos, and that leads to the beginning of French Revolution. So do you really think so if Napoleon wants to introduce new taxes? Suppose if Napoleon wants to introduce new taxes, don't you think so Frenchmen are going to kill that person at the same time? Because they were angry. They were exploited for the centuries. They want freedom from that madness. So that's why Napoleon was a wise person. He knows how people are angry over this issue. Clear? So he doesn't want to introduce new taxes, no new taxes, but collected old well. So what is this concept? I just want to let you know. So according to the old taxation system, suppose the old taxation system was going on. According to the old taxation system, if the revenue generation of the tax system should be 100. Suppose if rupees 100 is expected revenue generation from the public in the form of taxes, but actual collection was 40 rupees. But actual collection was of 40. So 60 rupees loss was present. And how it is so? Because you know that in the taxation system there are various loopholes. People can use that opportunity, that loopholes, to evade the taxes. It's a very common thing. And how it is possible? It's possible because the tax structure is not so sound. There is a need to improve some changes, so introduce some changes in that. Increase the manpower is also the option. Maintain an efficient taxation system, that is the option. So what he did, he collected very well. That means he improved the collection mechanism. He improved the collection mechanism. For example, recruiting new people. Along with that, gave them authority to punish those who are considered as a tax evader and all. So don't you think so it is going to work out? Don't you think so? Whatever the steps he have taken, means as I mentioned here, the taxes, expected taxes is of 100 rupees, but inefficiently they were collecting 40. Inefficiently they were collecting 40. So if the able administrative system was introduced, don't you think means efficiently? Don't you think so? They are going to collect 100 rupees. Yes, my question to all of you. Earlier they were collecting 40 rupees with inefficient tax collection system. Now he introduced efficient tax collection system. Don't you think so? They are going to collect 100 rupees. Yes, what's your response? I'm waiting for your response. Yes, don't you think so? They are going to collect 100 rupees. Yes, Preeti said yes, exactly. Or yes, go ahead. Yes. Sankalpa said yes. Yes, Pooja, Samir, Vijay, Ashwini said yes. Very good. Go ahead. I want response from you. Hari Govind said nothing is 100% efficient. Pooja Thakur said yes. If your answer is this, then you are underestimating the power of common man. I want to explain with you with example 8 November. दिन तो याद है ना, कल ही था 8 November. It was said at that time, this day demonetization is going to end black money. Do you really think so? Black money is completely over. Nothing is black present in India. दिन याद होना चाहिए 8 November. A fantastic decision. Some said master, so it's okay. So now you're underestimating the power of common man, because always remember, whenever government is going to plan anything, government is having suppose 100 people, those who design that policy, but there are crores of people who have crores of brain. They can use, they can find out the loophole. So yes, whatever the Hari Govind Singh said, it's exactly the same thing. Always remember, don't get mad. Nothing is 100% in this world. Do not underestimate the power of common man. Do not underestimate the power of common man. They can find out the solution. Clear? So here we are going to say, if efficiently the system is work out, don't you think so? It can collect the revenue of around 80 rupees. Yes, it is possible. It is possible. But if you said 100 rupees out of 100, you are wrong. That means you are idealistic person. You are far away from reality. Clear? But still, if efficient administrative system is collecting 80 rupees, just don't you think so? It's a double. Don't you think so? It's double. Yes, earlier you had 40 rupees. Right now you have 40 rupees more. That means you can utilize these 40 rupees more for the development of the country. So it's a wise decision taken by Napoleon at that time. No new taxes introduced, but collected the old very efficiently. Clear? Yes, everyone? Clear this point? Point is clear to everyone? Next, establishment of Bank of France. Establishment of Bank of France. Ashwini said, please explain once again. Okay. Okay, I will explain this point once again for all of you. No new taxes but collected old. What exactly it is? Suppose this is the expected. This is the expected tax collection. Expected. But in actual sense, at present, with inefficient system, actual tax collection is of 40 rupees. Actual tax collection is of 40 rupees. So what Napoleon did, he want to increase this, but for that he don't want to add new taxes. No to addition of new taxes. So what he did, he just introduced an other thing, that is efficient tax collection system. And because of this efficient tax collection system, the revenue is augmented without introducing new taxes. And this is the 80 rupees. So I'm giving you just an example. 100 was expected. It's never been a case that you are going to collect all the 100 rupees. But through the previous system of tax collection, you get 40. But with introduction of new efficient tax collection system, your revenue augmented. It increased to 80. So don't you think so? There is an addition of 40 and that is 80. So now state is having more money. State is having more money, and if the state is having more money, the state can spend that money for the welfare of the people. I hope this point is clear to all of you now. Clear? The next thing, that is, here we mention establishment of Bank of France. Establishment of Bank of France. So first of all, what's the use of it? That is the reason. Okay. That's the question. First of all, what's the use of establishment of Bank of France? So as here we mentioned, the old tax system was based on agrarian economy. Based on agrarian economy means economy is based on agriculture sector, and you know that very well that agrarian economy is having limitation. Agrarian economy is having limitations. Yes, they cannot increase the food production 10 times, 15 times, 30 times. It's not the case, because all the factors we have to take into consideration, and the most important factor is the productivity of the land. So they have limitation. And you know that France was suffering from economic crisis. They want to augment the revenue. But this is the one way of reform, that no new taxes collected old, but still you require more money. So how can you do that? So at that time in European countries, there was one thing was going on known as Industrial Revolution. Industrial Revolution was going on, and the neighboring country, that is Britain, paved the way for it. Britain is right now what we can say the founder of it. They are earning more money. So Napoleon was thinking about the same, that is Industrial Revolution. And to establish the industries, you require huge amount of money. To establish the industrial revolution, do not compare establish with the establishment of one company. One company you can establish by your own, but if you want to establish the industrial town, you require thousands of crores of money. And do you really think so for one person or a group of 2-3 people it is possible? In general, it is not possible. In general, it is not possible. If you compare Mukesh Bhai, then anything can possible. But in general sense, it's not that it's easy. So when you want to start the industrial revolution, then you require huge amount of money, and it's not possible for one person to invest in that much quantity. It's not possible for a group of people. Then there is a requirement of institution. And you know how bank works. The basic feature of banking is depositing and lending the money. On one side they deposited your money, on other side they lend the money. So this institution was required for industrial revolution. So because of that reason he established Bank of France, and it helped France to develop their industry. Clear? Clear everyone? Yes, good. Next important thing, the Concordat. The Concordat is basically agreement between Pope and Napoleon. Concordat is basically the agreement between Pope and Napoleon. And why it was so? As I mentioned, Napoleon was a wise person. Napoleon was an ambitious person, and he knew what he wants to become. Step by step, he was gradually assuming the power. And when you want to win the support of each and every section of the society, then what you have to do? You have to win the support of them. And how can you win the support? You have to do something. You have to what we can say, take some initiative. And he took that initiative. And why it was so, as we know that this French Revolution was basically ended the authority of church everywhere. They ended the influence of church over the society. So don't you think it hurted the interest of first estate? It hurted the interest of first estate. So Napoleon wants to win their support. For that reason, what he did, he made an agreement with Pope. Pope is a leader of Christians. So that's why if he had directly agreement with the Pope, don't you think so he ultimately won the support of first estate? Yes. And what's that? What's this agreement, the Concordat? What's in that agreement? It's very basic. They said that Pope is having right to appoint bishop. You can consider bishop is a lieutenant of Pope in that particular country, a representative of Pope. Pope has a right to appoint bishop, and the salary of bishop is given by state. Pope is having right to appoint bishop, and salary of bishop is going to be paid by state. Don't you think so? Pope will be happy with this decision. What he have to do? He just have to appoint a person. He doesn't want to pay the salary, because salary is going to pay by state. So in this manner, Napoleon won the support of masses. Along with that, he allowed the religious teachings. Napoleon, with this agreement, allowed the religious teaching of Christianity as revolution ended it. Revolution separated the religion from the state, and they said that we have to stop this madness. But Napoleon wants to win the support of first estate, so he made an agreement, and that agreement is known as the Concordat. Clear? Yes, this point is clear to all of you. Everyone, is this clear? Clear? No response? Any doubt? Shall I explain, or it's clear to all of you? Yes, clear. Okay. Smart guys and girls. Thank you. Now, public works. Napoleon initiated the public works. So public works in all which manner? Public works is basically building of roads, forts, bridges, etc. Road, ports, bridges, etc. Yes, he took initiative in that. This initiative is having two intentions. First intention, very clear. First intention, that is development of the country. Do you really think so that by building roads, ports, bridges, development of country is possible? Yes, this question I'm asking you to future bureaucrats. Do you really think so? Just by building road, ports, bridges, etc., this public work activity that leads to development? Yes, yes, yes. Some said yes. Okay, okay. Yes, it is possible. Very good. How? That is the case. That is, these roads, ports, bridges provided the infrastructure over which the other businesses are totally dependent. Hargobind Singh, no, not just by the structure. Samir said not just because trade is not possible. Yes, sir, develop but take much time in future. What's the purpose of this thing? Clear. Public works, when we mention road, ports, bridges, etc., are developed. If it is there, definitely it is going to help trading activities, and development of the country. How? Because these are the basic infrastructure. Without these things, trade or anything is not possible. Clear? So these are essential things if your country wants to develop themselves. Just take a means you can imagine your situation. Suppose you belongs to any particular area and which is considered as a backward area. Why your area is backward? Just think about it. Let's take example. Recently there was an election in Bihar. Why Bihar is considered as a backward state? Don't you think so? These are the main problems. Roads, bridges. Every time you will, when there is an election in Bihar, you will get to know that this particular village doesn't have a bridge. People has to uh, either swim from that, or they have to take help of boat and all, or they want to travel 15 kilometers just to reach a next village. So such kind of situation is there. We consider Delhi as a developed. Just go and see, look at the Delhi. You will get to know the roads, bridges, and all. Maharashtra is considered as one of the developed states. Why it is so? So just go through it. So please remember, these things are essential for the development. Without that, development is impossible. Clear? So that is the development of the country. Trade and policy matters are also there, but they are secondary in nature. If you design the best policy in the world for the trading and everything, and if you don't have road, do you really think so that investors are going to invest in your country, in your state, in your district? Yes, Ashwini said that proper road is there, good connectivity between rural and urban area. Priti said that it's not just, but it is crucial there for development. Yes, exactly. I want to tell you the same thing. It's, and yes, all of you want to say the same thing. It should not be just raste bana diye sab bana. And if there is no policy at all, then everything is meaningless. Exactly. Clear? So just by developing this thing, development is not possible. But without this, also development is not possible. And as I mentioned, again, Napoleon was a wise person. So what he did when he started developing roads, ports, bridges, don't you think it support the industrial revolution? And this is the policy he designed. Industrial revolution means, for example, if your government decided to have decided to take initiative of industrial revolution, and at that place no road, no water, no electricity, do you really think so industrial revolution is going to boom? Do you really think so? No, not at all. Clear? So while designing the policy, while designing the industrial policy, he also took care of public work. So as I mentioned, the public work first aspect is economic development of the country. That is the first aspect. And what's the second? What's the second aspect? As I mentioned, first aspect is very clear, that is economic development of the country. What do you think? What's the second aspect of it? Yes, please. Expansion. Samir said expansion. Yes, go ahead. What about others? Wake up, wake up, wake up, guys and girls. I'm asking you, as one person is there in jail, so no one is asking. I'm asking to you. Tell me the answer. Yes, use your common sense. First thing is clear. What about other? What about second? Still no response. It's really amazing thing. No response at all. A very common sense is there, and that is, as you know, almost all of you know, Napoleonic army was known for their swiftness. Pooja said sustainable development. That is the problem. We are living in a democratic country. We are living in a best world, so that's why we can consider such concept. Napoleonic army was known for swiftness. Clear? So this is for military purpose. Yes, Samir, what you said, it's exactly as Napoleon wants to be. Uh, Napoleon wants to be emperor. Napoleon wants to expand. So for military expansion, it is essential. Just imagine the situation. If roads are bad, do you really think so they are going to reach any particular field? Suppose this is Britain. Britain as having a ocean and all. Suppose this is Austria. This is Austria, and Austria are standing here, and Napoleon was here, and Napoleon wants to stop Austria with the full speed, but roads are like this, zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. Do you really think so? Napoleonic army is going to reach here with the bad road? Take your example only. If you want to go from Pune to Mumbai, it is possible within 2 hours. But if roads are bad, do you really think so? They are going to reach, means you're going to reach by 2 hours. It takes 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 years. And if at that time, if there were no good roads, don't you think so that Austria is going to reach here and they are going to meet here? Clear this point? For rapid movement of troops, what Napoleon required? Napoleon required good roads, good ports. Clear? So first advantage were public works, we mentioned economic development, and the other aspect of is military purpose. Clear to you? Yes, everyone, clear? Very good. Next, judicial reforms. Next thing, judicial reforms. As the main problem is lies during this time, it consists of two laws. First is an old Roman law. First, old Roman law. And second, laws made by Parliament. Laws made by Parliament. Now there is a confusion. Which law should prevail? Because both laws existed at the same time. And do you know that according to old laws and practices, some things are taboos, but according to the new things, it's not considered as a taboos. Or let's take example. Let's take an example. Earlier, there was a concept very prevalent, and it is barbaric in nature. An eye for eye. Eye for eye means if there was a quarrel between two people and one person is damage the person's eye. The other person is having right to damage the other person's eye. Clear? If any person molested or tried to molest anyone through this left hand, then it was a time, that left hand is going to chopped off. Don't you think so? It's a barbaric practice. But it was prevailed in the past. There was no problem at all. But do you really want to implement that thing in the same manner in present context? An eye for eye. No, because our founding father and basically father of nation said that an eye for eye makes the world blind. Simple. So we don't want to implement such thing. We are in democratic system. A modern values and principle are there. Punishment is there, but it according to the law, not a law which is based on a barbaric principle. Clear? So at that time it was a case in France that two laws, the old Roman laws and new laws made by the parliament, were into existence, and which creates a confusion what to do and what not to do. According to one law a person is innocent, and according to the other law a person was guilty. So what Napoleon did in judicial reforms, he synthesized, he basically synthesized he synthesized the old and new law. He synthesized the old and new law, means whatever the good things present in the old law, he took that, and whatever the good things are present in the new law, he took and made a combination of it. That is the synthesis between the old law and new law. That is the judicial reforms. Along with that, codification of law is important, means everything is written. That is the important gift given by Napoleon to the world, codification of law, Napoleonic Code. Clear? So what he did, he divide the taxation system, or divide the law, law is always there. He divided the law into civil, criminal, and the other aspect, that is commercial. Clear? So such kind of division was there, and he introduced the code, that is penal code, that is Napoleonic law. A penal code was established, which punishment is awarded for which and all. So such kind of judicial reforms he introduced. In the judicial reform, he synthesized the old plus new. At the same time, in the codification, he separated the law, means civil laws are different, criminal law are different, commercial laws are different, and along with that punishment is accorded, and everything is written form. So that is known as Napoleonic Code. Clear to everyone? Yes, everyone, is it clear to you? Point number 6 is clear to you. Yes, point 6 is clear to you, all of you? Good. Now the next thing, that is election is replaced by selection. Election is replaced by selection, or it is also known as appointment. What's the big deal in that? What's the big deal in? Please tell me, what is the difference between selection and election? Yes, you are smart enough. I want to know the difference between selection and election. Yes, no one is having problem. I'm really surprised. Good, smart people. Explain. What's the difference between selection and election? Are they same or just a name? It starts with S, it starts with E and all. Selection, election. What's the difference? Samir said election means opinion of masses and selection means opinion of only one of you who is in power. Nile said not the same. Yes. Then please tell me what's the difference? Election is a people choice, Nile said. Okay. And selection is the choice of Pooja said election means people vote and choose one person and selection means not choose by people, only few people can. Yes, now I realize is that you know the difference between election and selection. Here, the opinion of masses important means it's a right of citizen. It is a right of citizen to whom they can elect. But do you really think so? The opinion of masses is important? No. Here, whether the right is given to citizen? No. Then, yes, exactly what you say. Yes, what Preeti said, election is a democratic selection. Selection is democratic, selection is not, and can be based on favoritism, prejudices. Also, yes, exactly. I'm happy that you all know the concept that selection is by one person or handful. No rights played by citizen in this case. Clear this idea. So, so when this principle that is election is replaced by selection, don't you think so? Don't you think so? Napoleon ended the rights of people. Don't you think so? Napoleon ended rights of the people. Or we can say the basic right of the people in the democracy. Don't you think so? Napoleon ended the basic right of people in the democracy. And that is voting, that is election. It was replaced by selection, means end of rule of common masses. लक्षण कुछ ठीक नहीं है. Don't you think so? Signs are basically worrying us. These are not good signs. Yes. So let's take example of this only. Election is replaced by selection. So as we know, Napoleon introduced that. Do you really think so? Napoleon is going to appoint those people who are having independent views. What Preeti said, not just the rights of people, but also the public character was lost. Okay. Do you really think so that Napoleon is going to appoint those people who are having independence independent views. Do you really think so? He is going to appoint? No. Then he is going to appoint those people who are having the same views of Napoleon. Means basically these people were like the puppets in the hands of Napoleon. Means whatever the Napoleon wants to say, they are going to repeat it, just like parrot. Just like parrots. Clear? And you know parrots are very popular in India. Clear? So it's very common thing. Now get it? Why election is important than selection? Okay. So let's take example of this thing. Let's review what is the reform. So when we mention the first internal reforms, he rejected the idea of liberty, whether it is a positive reform or negative reform. It's a negative reform. When he adopted equality and fraternity, whether it is a positive reform or negative, some might get confused that this is a positive reforms. No, it is not a positive, it's a negative. Why it is so? Because without liberty, equality is a meaningless. Clear? Next, financial reorganization. Whether it is a positive reform or negative, positive, because it played most important role. Okay. Next, the Concordat. It's a negative reform because French Revolution. What French Revolution did? French Revolution ended the religious dominance. Clear? And Napoleon want to reintroduce. So that's why negative. Public works, of course, positive. Judicial reforms, of course, positive. And election replaced by selection, of course, negative. Clear, everyone? I explained this point in detail because these points are important to answer one question, and which is related with the Napoleon. Clear? I'm going to tell you this question in this lecture only at the end of the lecture. Okay. Next thing, that is external reforms of Napoleon. External reforms of Napoleon. And as I mentioned earlier, the reforms introduced by Napoleon outside France is known as external reforms, and it represents the Napoleonic Empire. It represents the Napoleonic Empire. Clear? What exactly it is? What exactly it is? The Napoleonic Empire means, as I mentioned, Napoleon controlled everything. Means first he establishes control over France, then he started policy of expansion everywhere. Some of you might aware of this. Italy was under Napoleonic rule. So, as we mentioned, that Napoleon once started a policy of expansion. He controlled the other parts. Means, for example, the parts of German-speaking area were also under Napoleon and all. So these areas were under Napoleon, and Napoleon introduced the same thing there. Like he rejected liberty but provided equality and fraternity. Clear? Clear? He ended the old system and established a new system. He ended the old pillar of ancient regime that we mentioned earlier. Here, he ended the pillars of ancient regime. We mentioned that pillars of ancient regime means absolute monarchy, then nobility, institution of nobility, and then we mention about agrarian economy. He ended everything and established a new system of administration. Clear? So, whatever we mention that these are the reforms introduced by Napoleon. Napoleon reintroduced those things in these newly captured area. That is his external reforms, and you will get the reference of it when we are going to discuss the unification of Germany, unification of Italy. Clear? And one more thing we are going to discuss, that is how Napoleon played an important role in this process of unification. It's also important thing to know. We are going to discuss. So till this point, any question, any query? Yes, till this point, any question, any query? Yes, everyone. Any question, any query? If you have, please let me know. Or everything is clear to you? No questions, Amit. Okay, good. So everything is clear. Very good. Now moving to next thing, that is in 1802, Napoleon became Consulate for life. Means till his death, till his death, he will act as a consulate. Till his death, he is going to act as a consulate. Don't you think so? He became dictator. Consulate for life means till in the life he became a head of state. So basically he became dictator right now. Clear? And one more thing I just want to share with you. When Napoleon introduces reforms, he always takes referendum. That is, he took a referendum. He took a referendum. That means he asked the masses. And you know what? You know what? Around 90% people supported it. Napoleon introduces reforms, and every time he took a referendum, and surprisingly 90% people supported it. When Napoleon snatched the liberty, people happy with that. When Napoleon made a pact with Pope and reintroduced the religion in their life, people were happy with that as they were supporting it. Clear? When Napoleon ended the election, people supported that. And how it is possible? Because for them Napoleon was not a leader for them. Napoleon was a rescuer. That means Masiha. So you know that Masiha cannot do the mistake. They are firm believer he is a hero and hero is never been wrong. So it was a situation. So always remember this thing is very common for you and me and all over the world, that please consider your leader as a human being, as a leader, not as a god. So please remember here as well, majority is with any person, it doesn't mean that person is right, because people are sentimental. They can support anybody without any logic and rational reasoning. Clear? So it was the case, it happened in the past, and because of the French people, Napoleon became a dictator. That means he became consulate for life. Means no one can overthrow, no one can oust Napoleon from his position. Means situation of Napoleon is like kabhi kabhi hum nahi lagta hai Bhagwan mein. It's like the same. Now he is a dictator, and earlier he was thinking like he is like God. But in 1804, he declared himself king. Now he is a new god of France. 1804. And what's the role of people? People happy with that. People were happy with that. And why they were happy? Because they don't know how to react, because they don't have liberty. They don't have liberty. And when he became king, he established a new dynasty known as Bonaparte dynasty. So the French Revolution is started with end of absolute monarchy. In 1789, French Revolution started to end the absolute monarchy, and 1804 re-establishment of absolute monarchy. The journey of French Revolution started with the end of absolute monarchy, and in 1804 they re-established absolute monarchy. It is just like this. It is just like this. French Revolution started various phases and all, and they reached with the same phase. Zero. Clear to everyone? Clear? And when Napoleon became the king, it is said that end of revolution. When Napoleon became the king, it's the end of revolution. So the first French Revolution was having 5 phases. First phase, Constituent Assembly. Second phase, Legislative Assembly. Third phase, National Convention. Fourth phase, Directory System. And fifth phase is a Consulate system. And this phase is ended with Napoleon became the king. Napoleon became monarch. Clear? Everyone? Is this clear to all of you? Yes? Is this clear to all of you? Okay. Now, when Napoleon became king, Napoleon became emperor of France. So, word emperor, suppose this is the word emperor, and it symbolizes expansion of empire. When Napoleon became the emperor, it started the expansion of empire. Initially he grabbed the neighboring area. Initially he grabbed the neighboring area, and after capturing the neighboring area, he want to expand. Means, for example, this is Europe, this is France, here is Britain. Now Napoleon directly or indirectly established the control, over Europe. Clear? And he wants to expand his territory. Here is Asia, here is Africa. He wants to expand Asia, Africa, Latin America, and all. And you know that Britain was already there. Britain was having control over many Asian colonies, African colonies, American colonies. Clear? So when France was thinking to move outside, the most important France was moving outside. The most important challenge they were facing from Britain. Most important problem facing from Britain. Clear? And you know, Britain was considered as a mistress of sea. And Napoleon, when he was head of the state, Napoleon was considered as a master of land. Britain was considered as a mistress of sea, and Napoleon was considered as a master of land. So it's very logical that there will be conflict between Napoleon and Britain. There will be a future conflict between Britain and France. Clear? But as we mentioned, Napoleon was a wise person. Napoleon knew his strengths and weaknesses. So he knew the one fact very clear, that is, Britain is very strong. Britain is very strong country, and it's difficult to defeat Britain. He was a wise person. He knew that it's very difficult for France to defeat Britain, and especially in sea. So Napoleon was thinking on different lines. And that represents in the form of continental system. So what is continental system? We are going to discuss in tomorrow's lecture. So before concluding lecture, I just want to ask you, Do you have any queries related to today's lecture? If you are having, please let me know, and you can connect me through my Telegram channel at Unacademy underscore Harshvardhan. Yes, you can connect me through Harshvardhan. This is my Unacademy channel. You can connect me with that. So do you have any query related to this lecture? If you have, please let me know. I'm going to solve it. Yes, everyone. Everything is clear to all of you? Any query, any question? If you have, please let me know. Okay. I don't think so you have any question, any query. Then it's okay. We are going to meet back tomorrow at the same time, 8:30 to 10:30. And those who joined me today, I'm going to conduct the IR lecture as well. So IR lecture is at 11 o'clock. So we are going to meet again at 11 o'clock. Okay. So thank you very much for your valuable time. Have a good day, great day. Take care.